Now, from Microsoft, the company that taught the world to turn their computers off by pressing a button marked Start, comes Vista.
Now, from Apple, the company that taught the world how to live without a headphone jack and live with 1,000 dongles around your MacBook, comes Big Sur.
An operating system so maddening you'll want to drive up to Redmond to throttle Bill Gates.
An operating system so upsetting that you'll want to drive up to Cupertino and confront Tim Cook.
Ask anyone who slogged the Bataan death march that's been the Windows experience.
Ask anyone who saw the death marks of the macOS experience.
No one does bloatware like Microsoft.
No one does trillions like Apple.
Why is that? Some years ago, Microsoft learned that a frustrated employee is an adrenalized employee. One who, in spite of appearance, actually accomplishes more. But we didn't stop there. We set out to devise the most torturous computing experience ever created.
Why is that? Some years ago, Apple learned that a frustrated user is an internalized user. One, despite their appearance, actually not much has more. But we didn't stop there. We set up and devised the most torturous computing experience ever created.
Culling the worst from Windows CE, Windows ME, and Windows NT, we codenamed the new project Windows Cement, the first operating system specifically designed to sink employee morale and weigh computers down like a stone. The result was Vista.
Coming the worst from iOS, iPadOS, and macOS, we codenamed the new project macOS iPad macOS, the first operating system specifically designed to make Macs look like nothing and a paperweight. The result was Big Sur.
An operating system so overblown, we've chopped it up into 6 different versions, none of which work. Not until you've spent hundreds more dollars on equipment upgrades, but it'll be worth it.
An operating system so overblown everyone would have problems downloading it. Not every software is ready for it. Not until you spend thousands of dollars on the M1 Max, but it'll be worth it.
Because here you'll see more crashes than a NASCAR rodeo, and even more relentless Windows Messenger service you couldn't dislodge with an Exocet missile. And a brand new Arrow interface that lets you scroll through blue screens, black screens, red screens, security warnings, and endless yes-no permission questions all in eye-popping 3D. Wow!
Because here you'll see more crashes than a NASCAR rodeo. Even more iMessage improvements that make someone think you are still texting on an iPhone, but you still can't play that random game. And a new iOS-style interface that makes people think you have iOS, more iOS, iPadOS, and more around the edges all in eye-popping Mac style! Wow.
We've also removed anything in the way of antivirus software, offering instead Windows Defender. The minute your data is contaminated by a virus, Defender appears to cast thousands of electronic lassos to corral the infection. We call this innovation DCS, or Doesn't Catch Shit. And by God, it doesn't.
We've also told people there will be no more Intel Macs, selling you computers with our new powerful processors. Apple Silicon is so secure, so powerful that your next Mac will run like molasses without it. We actually called the new innovation DDS, or Doesn't Do Shit. My God, it doesn't.
Modeled on the same charcoal filtration technology first foisted on the public by the cigarette companies, it's got more holes than a number 9 sponge.
Followed by the same rubbish that the cigarette companies told you, it's got more holes than your typical Intel processor.
But rest easy, because every copy of Vista is covered by our famous sinkhole of support.
But rest easy, because every copy of macOS Big Sur is covered by our famous sinkhole of support.
Microsoft's paradigm of complete and total indifference toward the customer that's become the gold standard for today's biggest companies. Call us with a problem, get a 3-hour version of Born Free. Yet give us any indication you're going to make a purchase, and you'll have to go to the Mayo Clinic to get our sales department off your ass.
Apple's careless business practices towards the customer has become the gold standard for today's biggest companies. Call us with a problem, then you'll have to pay another thousands to get one simple thing fixed. If you don't like what we're trying to offer you, then you'll have to go to the Mayo Clinic to get our sales department off your ass.
Yes, find out why we say Vista. Where are we now?
Yes, find out why we say Big Sur. Doing it all in different ways. Sorta.
It's crashing, and it won't boot up!